Well, hi, it's just me again. Going out for a little walk down here to the beach. I thought I'd just bring you along. Beautiful day today. Really nice out there. Mountains are out. Not a lick of snow on any of them. Which means we're going to have some problems in the winter. Or in the summer, late summer. Drought time again. What? Yeah. Oh, 75 degrees today. It's pretty nice. Can't complain a bit. A lot of goings on. Mr. Trump's name came down off of the Kennedy Center. It's no longer the Donald Trump and John F. Kennedy Memorial. Didn't he realize that if he left his name on there, he'd have to be dead? Memorial. We don't memorialize people still alive. Anyway, he's not aware of a whole lot. I'm going to take a different trip down there. I don't feel like walking down that hill. Let's take a peek at the neighbors. See how everybody's doing. I put that sign on the side of my building to draw a little bit of attention, because when Comey saw that written in the beach, it said 8647. In other words, get rid of Trump. I was hearing all this stuff about how 86 meant somebody wanted to have him killed. So I put it up there hoping to draw some anguish, and I only got one bite. The rest of them, everybody was thumbs up, honking their horn, saying yeah, yeah, yeah. But this one guy stood out there in my driveway and kept telling me how sorry he was that I was threatening the president with death. And I went, what? That isn't even what it says. He was a real... well, the other thing I'm finding out too is these MAGA guys now, when they're walking around, they won't admit they're MAGA anymore. They used to wear the hat and everything. Now it's they don't want to admit that they are. In fact, this guy was saying he was always has been independent, in the middle. But that damn Biden and Hillary and Obama, man, they are just criminals, is what he was saying. Oh man, you can't win with them because they drank too much Kool-Aid. Well, making our turn here down out. We're going through the other neighborhood's beach. It is nice out. Not sure if it's high tide or low tide. Yeah. There it is. I haven't been down here in a little bit. Hadn't changed. A lot more kayaks and canoes out here now. Even got some paddle boards, I guess they are. They're not surfboards. They look like surfboards. Ah, right in the middle. Not high, not low. Not sure if it's coming in or going out. That tree right there blew up in the tide in the last storm we had. Doesn't seem to want to go home. Well, we're pretty much at high tide right now. The wet mark here on the sand, right where my shadow is walking, is the line where it was high. So it's on its way back out now. Let's see. Not sure what time it is, but starting at about 5:45, we wind up with 3 cruise ships go out every night, one behind the other. But I haven't heard if there's actually going to be 3 this year, if they only got 2. But every day, the cruise ships leave at around 6 o'clock at night. They come by here. They take off from Seattle about 3:30 or 4 o'clock. And then in the morning, about 7 a.m., they're coming in, heading back to Seattle from Alaska. Maybe it's coming in. My feet are going to get wet here if it keeps coming like this. I was watching a rather interesting talk. Actually, I watched 3 of them. What is that guy's first name? William or Richard Penrose. He's a physicist, and he has put an opinion regarding what the definition or what actually is consciousness. And it was really intriguing because I didn't realize there were so many different theories on what consciousness is. But to describe it is baffling and interesting at the same time. But it is that the question about who is it that is talking in your internal voice, your ego, your consciousness. I would bet the cruise ships have already come and gone, because this is the kind of waves we get about half an hour after they go by. Anyway, so consciousness is, what is it? What is that? When you are trying to make a decision, you have that discussion with that voice in your head. That is your consciousness. But what we're trying to determine is, where is it? Because it is not part of the body. The consciousness does not reside in the brain. It is external. Because if you go in and have surgery and they use anesthesia on you, you lose consciousness, yet you retain that ability to still reason when you come out. And that it's like, where did the consciousness go during that time? So the brain goes on with the drugs, puts you out, but it does not kill the consciousness, because we have these awarenesses of people who have near-death experiences on the operating table, describing things while they were flatlined that are happening in the operating room and everything else. So the consciousness is external, and it continues when your body ceases to continue. So that is, or is it the soul, or is it something else? Decisions that we make that affect our body, we make with our consciousness, not our mind. We make the decision on what we want to do. If it's a life-threatening decision, then yeah, we have to have an awareness of what happens after that. And it was really interesting. Of course, they came to no conclusion. The 3 members on the panel I was watching, and they were all in disagreement on everything. So it's typical, but that's how things work in the science area. But they are saying that spirituality and physics are coming together as one. And one reinforces the other. The whole entanglement theory and everything in physics gets played out every day in spirituality, because that is when they say you want to manifest something, what you're doing is changing the frequency of the item that you are trying to manifest out of the future. But it's all energy, so as soon as you apply it, you are creating it. And they are now in physics saying, yes, that is entanglement. That is what we're talking about. But to actually physically manifest it, you have to put the frequency at a level where you are not just, well, I kind of lost my train of thought of where I was going with that, but it's that ability to step out and then return and still have the conscious memory of what happened while you stepped out is the perplexing thing. How do you square that with physics? And it also, it has so many other ramifications. But anyway, this panel was really interesting to watch. So, anyway, I probably should have just walked along and let everybody listen to the tide. But going back up the hill now. Somebody came down and cleaned it up. They mowed, and they also trimmed back all the bushes. This is pretty cool. Like a little, I don't know, pathway to heaven. There's the gate. Kind of drives me nuts, though, that we worry so much that we have to keep checking to make sure the gate got locked. I don't know. There's nothing here that anybody's going to steal, really. I mean, they got the boats down there, but if somebody was going to steal those kayaks, they would show up with a boat down there and just take them out in the water, and they wouldn't be trying to come and go here. If somebody's going down to go sunbathing, see, they didn't lock it. I know 2 neighbors that would come down and just raise hell about that. Anyway. Just a gorgeous day on the island. Well, it's good enough for tonight, I guess. I just realized I'm out of beer. Guess I better go to the store. Have a good one.